by celebrating dairy. It's my favorite food group. And June is National Dairy Month. And joining us here to share more is Laura Marbury. She is a registered dietitian with the Dairy Alliance and the Dairy Farm Families of Mississippi. So hi, Laura.
Hey, Rebecca.
It's a busy month for you guys getting out there and talking up June Dairy Month. But if we've never heard about the month of June being dedicated to dairy, what's behind it?
Yes, happy Dairy Month. June is National Dairy Month, and that is just a way for us to pay tribute to the hardworking and dedicated dairy farm families who feed us such a wonderful product. We love dairy foods, and they're wholesome and nutritious, packed with 13 essential nutrients, including calcium, vitamin D, potassium, you name it. And according to the newest and latest dietary guidelines, for both children and adults, dairy foods really provide many of the nutrients that we aren't getting enough of. And the unique combinations found of these nutrients in dairy foods really play a key role in preventing heart disease, diabetes, and osteoporosis. So there's a lot to celebrate about dairy this month.
Well, most people think about celebrating with dairy with good old ice cream. And I don't know anybody who's turned away a scoop of ice cream unless maybe dairy doesn't settle with them well. But as we age, we kind of get out of that age of drinking our milk with meals or thinking about cheese as just a healthy snack. We just use it to smother and cover everything humanly possible. But for those listening to Good Things, Laura, that thinks, oh man, I sure would love a bowl of ice cream or drink a tall glass of milk. But, it just doesn't, affect me the same as it used to, or maybe it's affecting them in a negative way. What do you say to those individuals?
Okay, so the great news is maybe you might be talking about people who are lactose sensitive or lactose intolerant and can't consume dairy foods maybe as easily as they used to, but that is not a reason to give up dairy. I often hear people have given up dairy altogether because of that, but it's so key to keep dairy in your diet, not only because it's delicious, but it does provide all those nutrients I mentioned. And the good news is there are lots of options for you. It's as simple as trying lactose-free milk. That's still real dairy milk, just without that lactose in it. So it still has the many nutrients, calcium, vitamin D, all that I talked about. And then you can also try other tips like mixing milk into foods to make it more tolerable, making oatmeal with milk instead of water, or enjoy a glass of cold chocolate milk. Chocolate milk is great after a workout, and it can actually sometimes be easier to digest than regular white milk. And, it's convenient, affordable, and it tastes great, and it really helps you to refuel and repair and replenish your tired muscles. So, I always say a little ice cream. Hey, I'm a dietitian, but I have no problem with that. But then, you also have all these other great healthy options to get your dairy into.
You bring up a good point with the lactose-free milk. You look into the dairy case, and sometimes we just think, if milk doesn't settle with us well, then we'll just go straight to some of the plant-based milks out there, and we forget that we could try still a real milk. It's just with the lactose removed. I think one of my favorite commercials out there when it comes to lactose-free milk is the one where the dairy farmer standing in a field, Laura, and he's saying that people say that this isn't real milk. I guess these aren't real cows, and he refers to them as dogs and try to get them to sit. And it's just funny because it brings back it makes you chuckle to think that lactose-free milk isn't real milk. It is real milk. It's just they've removed what makes your tummy sometimes struggle with digesting dairy foods. But us adults, again, I go back to that, Laura. I mean, I feel like we are good, especially us moms and grandmas and dads who have our kiddos for the summer. We're pouring them milk with meals. We're encouraging them, to get their cheese on their hamburger, whatever it may be. But us adults kind of lack, once we get to a certain age, of just even getting our 3 servings of dairy a day. So how do you just help people who struggle to get milk into their diet, period? Maybe lactose intolerance isn't their issue.
Yeah, so, having milk with meals is great. I always encourage that. But there are other ways to get 3 servings of, your recommended dairy in a day. Yogurt is a great option. There are so many different types of portable yogurts now. You've got your full fat, low fat, flavored, fruit on top, all kinds of delicious options. Greek, traditional yogurt. And so the yogurt is a great source of calcium and protein. And then the other great thing about yogurt is it helps with our digestion and boosting your immunity. So it's got that beneficial bacteria in there that helps keep your gut healthy and helps you to fight off, harmful bacteria that can get you sick. So that's really key. That's something we've been focusing on, this year especially. So really think about adding, incorporating more yogurt in your diet, whether like starting off with a fruit and yogurt parfait in the morning or making a smoothie, which is very good and appetizing, especially in these warm summer months. Just a cool smoothie mixed with like frozen fruit and a banana and a little yogurt and milk, and that's just like the easiest breakfast or snack you can get, and really get a serving of dairy in.
And I dare you to throw a handful of spinach into that yogurt smoothie. It'll turn green. It'll be the green monster, and your kids may be afraid of it. For just put it in a glass where you can't see through it, or you may be afraid of it, but you really can't taste it, and it just adds that extra nutritional boost from the spinach. Now, Laura, I think it was last week that Donut Day and Cheese Day ended up on the same national holiday, and I'm not sure who thought that was going to be a good idea, but so many people came out for the win for cheese, saying if they had to choose between the two, it would be cheese all day. But there's always that concern that cheese may not be able to fit into a healthy diet, because we do sometimes hear it is just used as something to smother and cover and, and grease up. So from a dietitian's perspective, how do you tell people that cheese can fit into a healthy diet?
Oh, yeah. I believe all foods fit, especially cheese. Let's not make cheese the enemy. It's so good. And, yes, although it is like sometimes can be used to just smother on top of something, but it's also an ounce of low-fat cheese like cheddar or Colby or Swiss has as much protein as an egg. So it's a great source of protein, and it's also the number 2 source of calcium in our diet, and a dietary source of calcium. So And usually a serving can average less than 60 calories and 4 grams of fat. So I think sometimes cheese just gets a bad rap, but it's actually an excellent source of good nutrition. And also that high-quality protein you find in cheese, it's not just good for your muscles, but for your teeth as well. Your dentist will thank you, because there's a protein called casein that's found in like aged cheddar and Swiss, and it can actually help your teeth, the enamel in your teeth, form a protective shield against acids that cause cavities. So it's good for your muscles and good for your teeth. And so, and we all love it. So that's just another reason to enjoy your cheese.
You just made a lot of cheese lovers very happy today on Good Things, Laura. And so I know we're always happy, too, when we can get some good recipes to try out. And dairy definitely fits in no matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So do you have any yummy recipes that you would like to share with us, or send us where we can get some more?
Absolutely. Go to our website, thedairyalliance.com. We're constantly adding new and delicious recipes. We have everything from breakfast to dinner and in between. Like I said, I'm a big fan of smoothies, but there are lots of ways to incorporate, dairy foods into your diet. So check out our website, and I'm sure you can find something fun to make for your family and friends this summer.
Well, that sounds delicious and nutritious and all the things fun and fabulous. Well, Laura, it's always fun catching up with you. I know June is a busy month for you guys, and big props to all of our dairy farm families here in Mississippi, because I know they work 365 days out of the year.
Yes, they do. So happy Dairy Month, National Dairy Month to you guys. And it's always fun to come on Good Things.
All righty. And remind us that website one more time if we want to get the recipes.
The www.thedairyalliance.com.
All righty. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
She said it. You heard it right out of a dietitian's mouth, and it wasn't mine, that you can have ice cream. It can fit into a healthy diet. And cheese galore. I knew which one she would choose if she had to battle between donuts or cheese, asking her. It was going to always be the cheese come out on top. But I felt like that was just kind of what everyone also said, too, when you had to pick to choose. We can't live without cheese, right? It would be that fear of missing out if you remove the cheese. All the good stuff